those of you in the States, um, but for those of you who are in Africa, it's been Christmas, so I want to just welcome everybody. This is kind of hard for me, because um, Kim the Comic, as you guys know, here on the King Gunner channel, was killed in a car accident. I'm pretty sure that the driver, which was one of his friends, um, was drunk and tried to pass somebody on the high bypass road. And he was trying to pass his brother, and he ended up running into a ditch. And from what I understand, Kim's neck was broken almost instantly. And then there were some issues with once the paramedics got there, um, that, he didn't have the money to enter the hospital, so they wouldn't want to take him. So that was some time off his life and stuff like that. And so when I first heard about it, I thought it was a bad joke. You know, I thought it was a bad joke. I was hoping that it was a bad joke, but um, I'm trying to be strong here. Thought it was a bad joke, and then people just kept confirming, kept confirming, kept confirming, and I just started crying. I was almost yelling. And my mom had to come because I'm back here in California, and I just, it's been tough. It's been tough, but I want to thank all of you for the support. I just want to talk a little bit about him as a man, as a young man. When I came to Uganda, before I came to Africa, um, I had worked with the African community in Poland a little bit, but I had never worked with the African community up front. And I had worked with a lot of different YouTubers. I worked with, Kevin Samuels. I've worked with African Diaspora Network. I've worked with Sonetta. I've worked with Wardy Maya. I've worked with the lead attorney. I've worked with Pocket Watching with JT. I worked with a lot of great YouTubers. But this was the first one that I've worked with that I met in person. And what happened was how I met Kim was through Jonita and Jonita's sister. Because I had got into it with two other videographers and then they quit. So we needed another guy. And there was a short guy that they knew called Kim the Comic. And he had this rinky-dink camera. He was real skinny. And I didn't like him that much, to be honest. And then we got into an argument and I fired his ass too. I was like, look, man, you get your money, get the hell out of here. But when I came back to Uganda in 2020, I was bringing my guy Satati from Kenya. I met him through Wardy Maya. And I talked to Wardy Maya. He called me the day Kim died. And that was the last thing that me and Kim talked about, Wardy Maya reaching 1 million subscribers. So when Kim the Comic found that I was coming back to Uganda, he begged me to come back and work for me. He came to where I was. He said, please. I was really, wrong for how I carried on. But he came and I liked that. He was a young man. He was from the old school. And what I mean by that is he believes in good old-fashioned hard work. For those of you who don't know, on my other channel, Kim edited the most celebrity junks. So he was our most important person. Most people didn't know that, but he was. So he was a pretty good cinematographer. He wasn't the best guy that we had, but he was pretty decent at that. He shot some farm videos. He was a pretty decent editor. He was getting better. He was definitely getting better. Thank you, Brother Falcon Black. But he was a hell of a content creator as far as an actor. And he was a promising singer and artist. So he did a lot of things above average. But when it came to acting and when it came to on-stage presence, that's where he really shone. he was the one that convinced me to do Strugglewood series. And, and really what Strugglewood was about was an African American and an African comedy in the same show. And he was the one that came up with that. Obviously, I added to it, but he was really into the manosphere. He was really into the Pan Africanism. Um, he was really into, developing the black world. He really had no interest in going to. Um, he wanted to stay in Africa. He was never able to get out of there to go see somewhere else. But he was influenced by a lot of the African American comics and things like that. But um, he wanted to develop where he was from. And I just want to say that this is the first time I've worked with somebody who's died, and somebody that I love so dearly. Somebody who really changed my life, not just here on YouTube, but financially. He changed everybody's life. He changed my life. He changed Nita's life. He changed everybody because of his work, and he was so dependable, and he was so mature, and his life was going so many different places. But I just couldn't get there, and the reason why he died that night, because I was traveling. I was traveling from Warsaw to Paris, and from Paris to Seattle. And between that trip, I couldn't record any videos. So he told Jonita that, he wanted to go out with his friends. O'Shea didn't, send me any work today. So I'm going to go out and I'm gonna hang out. And part of me believes that if I was there, um, the kind of impact I had on his life, he would been able maybe to develop a little bit more and stay away from certain things. Because he was a guy that his finances was changing his life. His ability was changing his life. But, with some of us, we still hang out with certain people that we know because they're still there. A guy that's talented as him, when you have that kind of ability, you actually need to move sometimes. You need to get out of your city. But because he was on the come up, he was still hanging around with some guys that probably wasn't. I'm not calling them bad guys or anything, but they were, they're probably, young men. You do reckless things sometimes, and you don't never think that you're gonna lose your life behind somebody drinking and driving and doing something stupid. You just think that just being young, and but I want to thank his family for raising such a good man. Um, just a man that I could trust him to do everything. Again, like he changed my life. And I know so many people don't really believe in this thing called Pan Africanism, but I have somebody that I didn't know, that I didn't grow up with. Some background noise. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I don't know what to do about that. I'm not gonna get you wrong. But here was a brother that didn't come from my community. He didn't see things my way. Um, but he was somebody I loved like a son. And our big brother, however you want to call it. And this guy was not African American, but he was a brother that he really wanted to be somebody. And there's so many young men today that is lazy. They don't want to do anything. But the man wanted to be somebody. He worked more than anybody on the team. And he wanted to be successful. He wanted to change his life. I seen him come from, sharing a toilet with like 8 people in his old apartment to just how his financial life was changing. And just the contributions to, the Kinganda community. I still have some old podcasts that I haven't uploaded when he was still living. We'll put those up. And he's just had so many American people that was liking his content. You have so many Americans that he met because of the Kinganda thing. You had so many people. Our whole team didn't know each other 3 years ago. Our team, a whole team, became a family. We all started living together at one point during COVID, and it's like you lost a relative, you know, and somebody that you lose at 26, somebody like that. I was crying like uncontrollably to Jonita. I just couldn't help it, because it's a young man I really loved. You know, I really loved him. I love him. Um, it's like somebody. It's like you lost your son or something like that. And for those people that have a child, I can never tell you how much it feels, but I can kind of gauge now. Just if you invested into somebody's life, like I had with him, and vice versa, it got to be a hell of a thing to lose somebody and lose a child, especially somebody that had a lot of talent, somebody that had a lot of zeal. And all our plans now is just, we got to go all the way back to the drawing board because you can't replace his talent. And I just want to tell people out there today that, especially if you don't believe that, African Americans can work together with Africans and stuff like that. Just look at this guy. Look at the stuff that me and him did. You know, look at the short impact in 2 years. That we were able to create on the internet. We only really worked together for not even 23 months because he started coming back really and working for me in February of 2020. So from February 2020 to December, 22 months of this man's life, and everything changed for everybody. I'm talking about financially, I'm talking about equipment-wise, I'm talking about personal development. I only worked with the man for less than 2 years. And by far, out of anybody I've worked with on YouTube, he's been the most productive. And that's no shot at anybody else that I've worked with, because I was able to work with him on a daily basis in person. He was able to do stuff. He was able to shoot videos together, shoot podcasts together. He was such an integral part of what we were doing. And I want to just tell people that, one small mistake or one small thing, hanging out with people who you don't have any interest in, outside of just kicking it, just that once is enough to lose your life. And when you really have a calling on your life and you really are going to be somebody, you can't afford to deal with people who don't feel that same way about themselves. Now, I don't care who get mad about what I'm about to say right now. Whoever that he was with that night, he had more potential than them. I'm going to say it. In reality, he should not have been there. Because that's how talented and how special he was. And sometimes we don't realize where we're going. We don't realize as black people because we have a lot of times our standards are not that high. We don't really know who we are. And, we don't understand that when we're on our way to the next level, that there's certain folks and certain things that we got to cut off. And sometimes, we just think, oh, I'm just going to be over there with them. And, those people don't have your same goals. They don't have your same visions. And when you start getting successful and that starts to happen in your life, a lot of that times you playing keep away from folks. And then when you older, it's easier to do that. But when you're younger, it's not hard. It's not easy to do that. Nashem Shahid Ben Shara. Yeah, I know you knew Kim. Kim passed away, brother. And I'm trying to. Did he come from a big family? I believe the family is fairly large. I know that some of us are going to his hometown because he's going to be buried about 200 or 300 miles away from Kampala. Like most Africans, if they're not from Central, and most Africans in any country, they come from the villages to the big city to look for work, which is no different than what his family did. But he is going to be buried in his hometown village, which is called, I believe, Kasoro district. So, he's going to be there, and just to know when you have something going on, and again, I wish that I could have been there more alive, but I was gone too long. Um, I was gone too long this year, and that's something um, I'm gonna have to live with. I'm always kind of blame myself for that because I just had some things happen to Poland that tightened me up. I was only able to get to Uganda one time, so I wasn't able to have that impact and mentorship there that I needed to be in his life. You know, um, 'cause he's a young man, and when somebody is young and they're on the come up, a lot of young men need somebody there physically. It's hard to mentor you, over the phone or through WhatsApp and all of that. And when I'm there, I could spend more time with him and stuff. We spend a lot of time together. I could talk to him and things, and it's easy for me to point out where he's gonna go wrong. But the other people that might see him going out, they're the same age as him, and they don't want to, you know, it's hard for them to see what's going on and all that stuff. But he's a great man. He's a great man, and we can't replace him. I don't know what our direction of this channel is going to be now. Um, I still don't know because we can't replace him now. So I was talking to brother SBK. The struggle wood. We don't know if we're going to keep it that part of the thing. If that's going to be still an African concept, or is it going to go to a straight up African American concept? We don't know. Um, because we don't think that it's going to be sort of hard to find somebody to replace him for the audience that we was trying to get. So I don't. We still trying to find out. We don't know if we're going to move it to just that concept. If this is going to become an all African American comedy, or will it become half and half? We still trying to work on that now and see if we can do it. But I want to thank all of you guys um, for supporting us during this tough time. And he was a real talent. He was a real talent. I'm telling you, man, this guy, I know he was the next to blow. If I could have had another year with him. And you guys know about some of the people I've worked with on YouTube and the careers that I'm kind of known for helping out with and stuff like that. But he was a little different. He wasn't going to be a content creator in the manosphere or anything like that. This was the first guy that he was a full-fledged entertainer. Shout out to Blockavelli. So I think that, bar none, he's the first guy. The second guy that I'm working with right now is SPK Lifestyle, who's doing an amazing job also. So he's the first guy that I've worked with. First guy that I've worked with in person that had the kind of hit, that had the kind of stuff like that. But anyways, I don't want to belabor too long. I just want to say I'm thankful for people that support both of this channels. This channel here. Last year we were able to be the #1 producers of agribusiness content in Uganda in 2021. We met a lot of amazing people that came to Uganda and supported what we were doing. I know some people said that, thank you, brother Ali Colon. Maybe start a scholarship to give young brother the opportunity to learn technical skills. Okay, thank you, brother. Some of you asked about if you could give some money to the family, but I was able to cover that myself because all of the support that you guys have given us, we're not going to ask you for me personally. I'm not going to ask you to set up a fund for his family. especially during Christmas season. Um, I gave a sizable donation based on that. So I don't want to ask the fans for nothing like that. So he was able to be taking care of his sister. She came and got his things and stuff like that. And if there's anything that they need out, I'll cover it myself. Um, so I'm not gonna ask you to do that because you guys have been so good to us this year. And again, you have your own families, you have your own problems, and I'm not gonna ask the community that. Y'all been too good to us, and I'm really thankful for um, for the support that you guys are giving the comments. The fact that you guys want to help out is great. But keep supporting us. Keep us in your prayers. It's a tough time for us. I came here to before I go. I came here. I bought a Black Magic Mini Ursa camera. I bought two Black Magics, and me and Kim, we were talking about all of the. Because there was a guy called Lukman Ali. I don't know if you've heard about it, but Mr. Lukman Ali was the first person to sell a movie to Netflix from Uganda. So if you guys don't know what Kinganda does, Kinganda is just not a YouTube channel. Kinganda is a production company. We don't produce anything in Uganda yet, but Kinganda is going to become a production company. So it can shoot um, full feature films. It can shoot documentaries. But the only thing that was stopping that from occurring was that we didn't have the V-mount batteries. So what happened was is I ordered these V-mount batteries to California, and I was going to take those V-mount batteries back to Uganda because you could only take them as a carry-on. So the only thing that we was missing was the V-mounts. So my plan was I was telling all our guys, we had ordered all the lenses that we needed. We had ordered some primes. Um, we had ordered a lot of different things. So I was going to go back to California, come back to Poland, take care of a few things there, and then I was going to take my carry-on with all of our batteries, and we were going to be able to shoot um, with the in mini Ursa. So one of the things that we was going to shoot was thank you, brother, talk talk. We were going to shoot this thing called in the manosphere, Red Pill Dating Coaches Exposed, right? And I was going to play a dating coach that was a fraud on YouTube, and Kim was going to be the person that was he was a fan of the dating coach, but it was going to be me playing the dating coach and me playing myself, and that's how we like to do. We did our things improv, when we acted. So we were talking about that, and we had talked to Woody Maya about coming to Ghana. We were going to take our acting all over Africa. We were going to take it to the Nigerian market. We were going to take it to um, the Ghanaian market. We were going to take it to all the English-speaking markets that we could. And we just had we have. I felt like we had too much talent as far as editors, um, as far as equipment and stuff. We got the best production team in YouTube, and Black YouTube for sure. You guys seen our stuff. You guys know what we have. And then we had the Repat podcast that we were shooting. So we had those elements in place. And when you're doing these content strategies, you never think that, well, this guy's gonna die. No, you build these strategies based on the people that are your. It's just like you build a team. You build strategies based on your capabilities. So you build a podcast based on him, or partly him. You build a script based on him. So everything that we have based on is him. So now you got to go back and you have to revise all of those things because you can't pull those things off anymore because you don't have them anymore. You know. So, but anyways, again, I want to thank you everybody for supporting us. You have my word that, yeah, and we just had a good chemistry. But I'm gonna tell you what, brothers and sisters, I want you to know that as my testimony, um, working with black people was the only way. Okay, I went to Africa. Um, I struggled, but I found the family. I found a lot of talent there, and you can't tell me any different. You know, I feel like I lost. I just, it's not even like, oh, I lost an African American friend, man. I lost like my son. Really, that's kind of how it feels. You know, it's somebody I love. You know, and so it's about a person that believed in your business and believed in you. You don't find too many African Americans like that. You don't find too many white folks like that. This is a guy who believed in what I had going on and said, I want to be a part of it, man, whatever I got to do. I remember sometimes he would sleep on the floor just to prove how, like, even Jonita used to joke about it. You know, we living in Blue Culture at the time. And she was like, Kim sleeps on the floor for no reason, just to prove to you that he's a hard worker. I'm like, I don't know why he's sleeping on the floor, you know? So he would work all day and he would sleep on the floor, you know. He just really wanted to prove, you know, because he's a short guy too, right? So he's very, very diminutive in stature. He's a small man. So he was really trying to prove, how hard, tough he was, you know. So you get his little sheet after long days of work. That's before we moved into the new place, and he would literally work, and before he get on the bed, he would just lay on the floor. He'd get up in the morning, and he'd work again, and he'd go right back, and he lay on the. He didn't have to do that. Sometimes he lay on the couch, you know, but he was really trying to prove a point that he was really serious, and this is a one African person that he played more of an impact to me successfully than any African American in the last 5 years. This one person. So I don't want to hear nobody telling me about Africans is all crooks and Africans is this and that. Man, the things I'm able to do for my mama right now is largely because of what he did for me. You know, the things that I have right now is largely because of what he did for me. Because of him, we got people that want to come to Uganda. SPK speaks. If you guys heard of JSPK, he's another guy, and I really appreciate him for him stepping up and handling that business also with Janita when I wasn't there. But he saw Strugglewood, and that was Kim's idea. Kim was like, "Look, man, we should start shooting these short films." I was like, "Man, I'm not shooting no damn short film with you." He's like, "Nah, man, let's do it." And just those short films got a brother to move from Mexico to Africa to want to work with us. And that was all Kim. It was all Kim. Kim produced the first Manosphere skit ever, I believe. You know? Because he was listening to the content in the Manosphere. He's like, nah, man, we should have a skit like this. He's only 26. I put 26, only 26. Oh, Jarrell, hey, brother, what's up? Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, he was alive then at that time. So the dating show, that was his idea. The brother Jarrell, he just got married to you Ugandan woman. He went out there and met her. How do you feel about a scholarship in his name to Kampala International School? Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that, man. Right now, when you're going through a guy that just died 48 hours ago, man, you just don't be thinking about that kind of stuff, brother. I'm just gonna be real. I've been going in and out of crying myself. So those are good ideas, man. But when you lose somebody like that and you can't replace them, you don't be really thinking about, we should start a scholarship in this fund. You're just trying to get through day by day. Because everybody is still hurt. Everybody's trying to process it. But I believe at some time when we can get over it, we can revisit that. And the dating show here. Hey, name a bucket. That was his idea. Him and Jonita. Him and Jonita wanted to do the dating show, and they went and got all these girls to come on here, and people got married because of that. So it was a lot of ideas he did that brought the diaspora together. He brought a lot of us together, man, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that. You know, I want to tell people about drinking and driving and stuff like that before I go. Guys, don't do it. Don't do it. You know, um, especially in Africa where you don't really have a lot of you know DUI enforcement and stuff. And in Africa, here in America, the roads are better. But in Africa, literally, Uganda, you can make the wrong fall and break your leg in a ditch in Africa. You don't even need to have, you know, no car. Just every day is dangerous enough. You can ride a boda. I damn near got my leg took off one day on a boda just because the guy made the wrong turn. So every time you travel in Africa, it's hard. I want Africans and African Americans and in Africa to understand what I'm talking about. Just going from one place to the next is a danger in Uganda. It's already bad enough. If you get fucked up, they're not gonna take you into the hospital unless you already got money. Most of y'all not gonna have no $2,000 on you at one time, $1,000 at one time. All right. And people who drinking and driving in Africa, the roads ain't your friends, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. I lost my most talented guy over some stupid shit like that. Literally. Don't do it, family. A lot of y'all, some of you brothers think because you're young, you're gonna come home tonight. That's what he thought. You know, I come home to spend time with my family, and on Christmas morning, I'm mourning the loss of a guy that was like my son to me over something for nothing. Over a young man that I know that if I could just spend some more time with him, he wouldn't even be dealing with them. He wouldn't even be dealing with those guys. And that's why mentorship is so important for young black men. Because a lot of young black men, they make mistakes and they just don't understand. A lot of times, man, I'm gonna tell you the difference. A lot of difference for like a lot of African men. A lot of African men, they got a lot of pressure. You know, and a lot of times, from what I understand, they families, you know, it's not a lot of. I'm not saying all people, right? But when you a young man like him, you go to college, you're out on your own. You really don't have um, nobody to talk to, help you. And it ain't like America where you got all these programs and mentorships. In America, you can find a business channel and business events and things you can go to. It don't work like that in Uganda and Africa, man. They don't. Those things are not really available. You have maybe certain things like but really you out on your own. Once you finish and all that, you out on your own, and you expect that you're supposed to help your family and where you from. However you're supposed to do it, that's how you're supposed to do it. You know, and a lot of times, you know, there's not a lot of you know people that you can talk to because in Uganda, people who are successful, that's not really those kind of tips and how to reach the next level is not really talked about so much. So yeah, a lot of guys, a lot of drive, but that's not really talked about so much. You know what I mean? So I think like in his mind and stuff like that, he's coming along and things like that, but maybe he don't realize how close he is. You know, and with the COVID lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, you know, just not able to do his thing, and these guys are out past the curfew, ain't supposed to be out, but they out past curfew. Um, you don't think that you're not gonna come home that night. And a lot of times when somebody is so talented, they don't realize what they got. And maybe some of us don't realize until they're gone. So this is why a lot of young men need help. A lot of young black men need help. It's hard enough for them to be black, especially in Africa, not have resources and be somebody. It's hard in America too, but in Africa it's super tough. So you want to be a videographer, you want to be a music producer. What's going on, Pro? It's tough to even do it in Africa. Okay, but when you don't have it, but then to get those resources, because it's expensive. But then when you start to get those things and all that, you forget that, hey man, my life is changing. I gotta change a lot of things around me, and there's certain things I can't do anymore. You know, certain people and certain things I can't hang out and do. So, but anyways, I'm not gonna belabor the point. I just want to thank everybody. Yeah, I know it's shocking, brother. Um, he's really, really talented guy. People love him. People love him in act. People love him in Uganda. I love him too. And we're gonna just keep pushing. We're gonna just keep this channel going. This channel has really, it doesn't make like a lot of money or anything like that, but a lot of people have been helped through this channel. People have met people. People have gotten married through King Gardner. A lot of farmers have gotten grants from this channel. So this channel has really brought the black community together worldwide, and that's what it's all about. It's a project, like Omawale said, but Omawale, Pan Africanism is a project, and you know, we sometimes we lose our talented people for, and I'm always gonna feel like this. We lost them for nothing. I lost them for nothing. I lost them over something stupid, man. Lost them over something stupid, man. Like, for what? I'm I'm not gonna go into it, but you know, thank you so much, man. I want everybody to have happy holidays. Enjoy the time with your family and friends. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you love them. I wish I was able to tell him that the last time I talked to him was, hey man, thank you for what you do for me, man. I used to always tell him that though, but I never tell him, you know, man, I thank you for what you do for me. And I love you, man. Thank you so much. And as men, we know it's like, you can't even say something like that. No, I mean, I love the guy. I literally could not stop crying, dog. I'm a person, I don't even cry for breakups or nothing. I was crying like uncontrollably. You know what I mean? This guy is not like, oh, he's just a good African friend of mine. No, man. And this is this is this is somebody that, you know, man, I'm telling you. What's up, Dimitri? Email me, brother. But guys, I really thank you, brothers and sisters, for what you've been doing. Like I said, y'all don't need to give us any money or anything like that. Just keep helping us grow. Keep us in your prayers. We're gonna get back to the regular programming. I'm gonna give you guys what we're gonna try to do for this channel. We're gonna try to make it better. We can't replace the brother because he did too much for us. But he literally took. I want everybody to know he took everybody out of poverty with him on our team. Everybody. Like that's just one person. So I had the idea. It's a Tati. He took everybody out of poverty, man. All the people. It was because of him. Everybody got laptops now. Everybody. He made it possible with his work. Everybody. Like when we came, we didn't have almost anything. And within 1 year, everybody was out of poverty. Everybody. I'm talking about like high-speed internet in Africa is like $200 a month. So imagine you got all these different people, you know what I'm saying, that was not doing well, didn't have no computers, didn't have nothing. So we couldn't even run the business when he first got there, for the most part. We only had one laptop and one desktop. By the time I left Africa in 2020, him and Satati, because Satati was my MVP of 2020, but Kim carried us to 2021. Everybody got a laptop, a brand new Razor. Everybody got one. Every editor had their own PC. He took everybody out of poverty. Everybody. Everybody. Like a lot of people on our team was dead broke. He put everybody on his back. He took everybody. My dad got got hurt in February, and the bed was $4,000. Specialized bed. Everybody. He was impacting my personal family. All our equipment we got right now is paid for. No debts, nothing. To even ship that stuff was like we spent like $20,000 in shipping this year. The dude put it on his back. You know, all the computer cards, all the PCs, all the stuff. You know, paying your rent 7 months ahead of time. Everything. Everything. That dude did it by himself. Don't get me wrong, we have some help here and there, but every day, like, I need this done. All right, I got you. Hey, man, I need this done today. I got you. I need this. I got you. Never like, oh, I can't do it. It was all like, well, I can't do it right now, but I can do it here. We never had one argument. He took everybody out of poverty, bro. Everybody. By himself. He did more for me than any African American person on YouTube did for me. I would say the only person that is close is Kevin Samuels. But he's number one. Because he's running my project every day. Never listen. I'm sending equipment, everything. Nothing in my house is taken. I can leave for a year. Nothing in my house is taken. That man did that for me. Thank you, blind guy in his life. So we're gonna keep it going. Um, I want to thank his family for raising such a great man. And yeah, you know, I got everything that I got right now. Working with Africa, working with the black community. So I don't want to hear nobody telling me nothing else about what you can and can't do.